Today on Monkey Life, orangutan Lucky is moving home.
Oh, that's not good. That's definitely in recovery. Let's get her up, that's the best thing.
Young woolly Lucas is causing concern.
There's no damage in the joint itself. I don't know what's going on there.
And little Thelma is up to her usual tricks, keeping the grown-ups on their toes. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
We've really done everything we can to make her journey as smooth as possible.
The park provides a home for more than 250 monkeys and apes from 20 different species. At the orangutan enclosure, the team are preparing for a busy day with Gordon's group, and one female in particular. For the last 2 years, Lucky has been living with the young alpha male and 2 other females, Amy and Xiaolan. Amy can be quite bossy, which is good for the group because it helps keep Gordon in line. Xiaolan is also a feisty character. As a result, quiet-natured Lucky has found herself increasingly pushed out. In captivity, getting the dynamic right in a group of orangutans is not always easy. The team have decided it's time for the low-ranking female to try her luck with a new family. Youngsters Jolie and Linga recently left the park for a new home in Spain, which means there's now room in Tuan's group.
He's a pretty relaxed older male, Roro and Ame in there, and so we're just going to see if that works better. It is difficult with female orangutans because obviously in the wild they're solitary, so trying to get a duo or trio of females that work well together is tricky, and things change, so we're going to see if the dynamic of her with the 2 females at Tuan's will work better. Fingers crossed, no guarantees, but it's worth a shot.
For Lucky, this could be like returning home. She's lived with Tuan and Roro before.
She certainly has been relaxed around Tuan in the past. She obviously knows Roro, and over the years we have swapped our females orangutans around, you know, and sometimes a certain individual is dominant and then in a different context they'll be subordinate. So it's just seeing whether this dynamic would work better.
It's a short journey between groups, so Lucky will only need a light sedation. At the park, most of the larger primates are trained to accept a hand injection, and she's no exception.
Hey, come in.
Jarno from the primate care team successfully encourages Lucky to present her shoulder and administers the anaesthetic. Specialist vet John Lewis is on hand to check her every step of the way.
Lucky's had her pre-med, which has made her dozy and a bit weird, to be honest. But she's fine, a little bit more tractable. And she's just had the anaesthetic injection, so we're just waiting for her to go down. And then take some bloods, run the blood profile and move her into the box. Oh, we're going to weigh her as well. So.
The anaesthetic has taken effect, so the team quickly carry Lucky out of the bedroom and onto the scales.
43.3. She has gained.
But there's a problem. As they move her into the travelling crate, Lucky starts to bring up some liquid. John immediately steps in to check her over.
Oh, that's not good. That's definitely in recovery. Let's get her up, that's the best thing.
John's concerned. If Lucky keeps regurgitating under anaesthetic while travelling, she might choke.
Stay there. Atipamezole? Atipamezole?
He takes no chances and administers a wake-up drug to bring Lucky round.
Right, Stacey, we need all the kit. I'd go, because she has had it.
With Lucky starting to come to, the team need to act fast and move her to Tuan's bedrooms as quickly as possible so she doesn't become distressed.
Come on, get up with it, because she'll be... Yeah.
Lucky is now alert, which means they can't carry her into the bedroom. Time for plan B. It's not ideal, but the team will now have to secure the crate onto one of the slides in the bedroom and entice her out.
It's awkward this end. We have to strap the crate onto that entrance, get her to move out of the crate. But I'd rather do that than have an animal which might be in trouble as a result of the anaesthetic.
Fortunately, a rather groggy Lucky doesn't need any persuasion and slowly makes her way into her new home.
We've put the other animals outside just for the moment. We'll probably let her settle for a bit and get back to her normal self, maybe have a bit to eat and drink, and then perhaps bring the other guys with access inside so she can see them again. She obviously hasn't seen Twan for a while, so she'll enjoy that.
After a rough start to the day, Lucky makes herself at home and opts for a nap. In the days to come, she can look forward to seeing her old friends, Twan and Roro. "30 years ago, park director Alison's late husband Jim Cronin founded Monkey World, realising his dream by opening a sanctuary for abused and neglected primates. Back in 1987, the park first opened its doors with just 9 chimpanzees, all of whom had previously been used as photographers' props on the beaches in Spain. Their excitement and delight was plain to see. It's hard to believe that 3 decades later, the park is now home to more than 250 primates.
It's simply amazing. This is our 30th year. And it's just hard to believe that, you know, what started out as one man's dream, a little pipe dream, sort of like Field of Dreams. You build it and they will come. And it's a bit of a mixed bag of emotions. Really happy and pleased. The park is a wonderful place. I love working here, love helping as many animals as we can, but how tragic that we're doing all of this and that this is our occupation. Really pleased to know that the pursuit and the dreams carrying on. Desperately sad that he's not here with us, but the park's a wonderful place and we will continue.
Of the original 9 chimps, 8 are still alive, and 6 of them live together in Paddy's group. Along with leader Paddy, there's Buster, Mickey, Cindy, Beth, and Zoe. Incredibly, Paddy has been leader since the beginning. His 30-year reign has been a testament to his popularity and strength. But in recent years, he's slowed down a lot, although the group remains stable. Paddy and all the original arrivals are now nearing their 40s, quite old for chimps, and are held in great affection by everyone at the park.
The group's growing up and actually growing old now, and we have to start planning ahead for their geriatric years, and that means not just looking after them today, but tomorrow, next week, and on into the future, because they're getting old.
The primate care team at Monkey World go to great lengths to keep all their charges in tip-top condition. The oldies in Paddy's group get extra supplements. Just like humans, a little added nutrition in their diet can help keep them healthy and boost their immune systems.
They're getting cod liver oil, evening primrose oil and vitamin C. And then the Bonio is just a little treat for them taking their bits so well. So they get these once a day, and they get them every day.
Good girl.
Okay. The supplements are really important for the chimps. Obviously, they're not meds that are going to cure any conditions, but it's really important for us to give them every opportunity possible to make sure they are healthy and they have got everything they need. It's not just about the mental health, it's also about making sure they're physically healthy. And for the older guys, that is really important.
Open. Will you see those old lady teeth? Wider.
Kate is taking the opportunity to check Cindy's teeth. She's one of the 9 original chimps that came to the park in 1987.
A lot of the older guys in Paddy's group, as it's the oldest groups we have, if you look at their teeth, not only are they kind of worn down now over the years, they've got sort of closer and closer to the gum, You can see a lot more staining, but interestingly enough, some of the very first chimps, or some that are now approaching nearly 40, you can see some nutritional ridges, particularly some around their canines where they've obviously some of it's worn away. You can kind of see how they would have been fed an inappropriate diet in their life before they came to Monkey World.
And it's not just the older chimps who need to have dental checkups.
So this is Bart, so he's nearly 10, and he's our youngest chimp in here. So obviously we keep an eye on his teeth for different reasons. He's got his canines just pushing through his gums now, so just want to keep an eye on those and make sure they come in through okay.
But ageing leader Paddy likes to do things in his own time. He's making the most of the peace and quiet and relaxing outside. He'll pop in for his supplements later. It's a warm autumn afternoon at the park, and at Hanania's enclosure, the chimps are relaxing and making the most of the sunny weather. But one member of the group is always on the go, no matter the weather, and that's little Thelma. While the others are snoozing or grooming, 3-year-old Thelma is just a bundle of tiny energy. All she wants to do is have fun. The high hoses and platforms don't faze her at all. For her age, she's agile, strong, and super confident. She's every inch her father's daughter. Although she does occasionally get it a little wrong. Her enthusiasm is hard to resist, and her many adoring uncles and aunts are happy to give up a nap to play with her. And she makes the most of it, getting a piggyback from Peggy, putting Shamak through his paces as they play keepy-uppy, or giving doting Simon the runaround. Play is really important for young chimps. It helps them learn about new things, develop social relationships, and become strong. And it's paying off for Thelma. She's one full-on, fun-packed bundle of energy. The warm afternoon is further livened up by the arrival of the care team with a cooling treat: ice lollies. There are a few greedy guzzlers in this group. Step forward Shamak and Arthur, both determined to have more than their fair share. Thelma arrives on the scene with the help of Jess, but as much as he loves her, Simon doesn't share. But quick as you like, Thelma scoops up an ice from under Mum Cherry's nose. Tootie shows she's got this licked, carefully peeling away the wrapper before sucking the tasty lolly. No surprise, Thelma's eating hers on the go. And like all good children, at the end of the day, it's important she cleans her teeth. Across at the Woolly Monkey enclosures, there's good news, bad news, and no news for the primate care staff who look after the 3 groups of woolies. Mum-to-be Paquita is still keeping everyone guessing on the unexpected arrival of her new baby. Staff discovered a few weeks ago she was pregnant. This is her 6th pregnancy, and guessing the big day has always been tricky with Paquita. So with no news yet, it's a case of patience and daily checks.
In herself, Paquita's doing really well. She certainly looks a lot bigger, and she also looks quite uncomfortable at times when she's moving around, obviously because she's carrying this extra weight with her. But in general, her health is really good. She's eating and drinking a lot. So far, everything's looking really positive.
And there must be something in the air, because the good news is that in Paolo's group, the team are hopeful Pakaya might be expecting too.
A lot of it can be guesswork, but she is certainly showing signs that she could be pregnant. Her stomach area's got a lot larger and it's very solid to touch. She's drinking a lot more as well, and her moods and her hormones are a little bit all over the place at times. So we're really hopeful, fingers crossed, that she's also pregnant as well, because obviously any baby is just super important to the breeding programme.
But among all this happy news, sadly there's some bad news too. Everyone is worried about Paquita's son, Lucas. For the past few weeks, staff have noticed the 2-year-old has been struggling to use his right leg. They've done everything they can, but Lucas doesn't seem to be getting any better. Normally, he's one of the most adventurous woolies in the park and loves having energetic play sessions with fellow youngster in the house, Xavi. Seeing Lucas so quiet and withdrawn is a big concern for the team.
How are you? Yeah, I'm good.
John Lewis and local vet Thezar Sastre have been called in to examine the young woolly. Hopefully they'll discover what's causing the problem.
He's just holding the knee flexed.
It's the first time Lucas has ever left the security of the woolly house and mum Paquita, so he's been anaesthetised in his bedroom before being brought to the hospital. The team hope he'll remember very little of today's events. Woolly monkeys are prone to hypertension, so every effort is made to keep them calm. Vet Thezar feels the best chance of getting to the bottom of Lucas's problem is comparing the good leg with the one causing him difficulties. He's hoping any noticeable differences may reveal what's wrong.
And see if there's any external injuries, but...
It's puffy.
It's puffy there, yeah. Let's see. What has he got?
With no obvious difference, the next step is to X-ray the lower legs to check for fractures.
Okay, it's done.
The team stand by anxiously. A fracture would be really bad news for young Lucas.
Well, there's nothing I can see. So it's likely, I don't think this is a fracture, no. So it might be that we need to go further, yes. That's fine. Right, so let's go for the knee then.
With no apparent injury to the lower leg, next, Thezar checks from the knees upward. He wants to make sure there's nothing higher up in the leg, causing the issue further down.
Now, the kneecap is in the right place. All the ligaments are fine, the cruciate, the collaterals, everything seems to be fine in the knee. That is absolutely fine. Okay.
Another series of X-rays on the upper legs and pelvis might finally shed some light on the problem.
And there's not even a fusion here either. There's no damage in the joint itself. There's not even an OCD lesion. I don't know what's going on.
The X-rays and physical examination have both drawn a blank.
We've progressed from ankle to knee to obviously the pelvis and the bones. They seem to be normal. So there's no major fractures. I think at the minute, the only thing that I can say is that I'm going to take these X-rays and have a look properly. But, you know, I had a good look already, and I cannot find anything that really worries me at this stage. It's a matter of time, I guess.
The team have done all they can for now. Lucas will return to his family, and all they can hope is that in the coming days and weeks, he'll get better and return to his normal, happy self. Over at the Squirrel Monkey enclosure, to brighten up their day, Karen from the Primate Care team is putting out some pretty camellia flowers as a tasty seasonal treat. This group consists of 6 in total. There's Saki monkeys Jethro and his female companion Chloe, and 4 squirrel monkeys. 8-year-old Charlie is the youngest and the only boy. Then there's 12-year-old Azzy, and finally the 2 old ladies Topsy and Turvy, who are around 32 years old. Squirrel monkeys originate in the tropical forests of Central and South America, but all the squirrel monkeys at the park were rescued from the British pet trade.
Come on then!
Their diet consists mainly of insects and fruit, but they're also partial to seeds, leaves, buds, and the occasional flowers. Like us, squirrel monkeys can recognize bright colors. These camellias also release a lovely fragrance. Turvy is straight in there and has a good dig around, prompting Topsy to get in on the action too. Charlie's more interested in the buds than the flowers, using his deft fingers to swiftly break them apart. Turvy is loving this special surprise as she digs deep for the pollen. While Topsy, although happy to watch, prefers to soak up the sun. 32 is really pretty old for a squirrel monkey, but both girls are remarkably agile for their age. Chloe checks the coast is clear and grabs herself a tasty bud to investigate. Jethro prefers his own company and takes the opportunity to watch from the sidelines as Chloe tucks in. Charlie's still feasting away. Being the youngest, he's often the most enthusiastic about anything new. Turvy reckons the bigger and brighter the camellias, the better. It seems they're more likely to attract the tastiest insects. Squirrel and Saki monkeys have really dexterous hands and fingers, similar to ours, which enables them to tear the camellias open very easily. Not only are the flowers nutritious and fragrant, they're also a good form of enrichment. The group have enjoyed their floral treat just as they might in the wild. Next time on Monkey Life. A woolly bundle for Pakaya, but is it a son or a daughter?
The baby's really active and wriggling. We've managed to have a look and we're pretty confident it's a little baby boy.
And the slow Loris demonstrate just how they got their name.
Oi, this way.